Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 Morning News.
Good morning to you. 10:30 now as we look live over Allegiant Stadium where the countdown to Super Bowl 58 is on. There's a lot on the line for both teams tonight. The San Francisco 49ers have the chance to take home the Lombardi Trophy for the first time since 1994. Or Kansas City Chiefs could win it back-to-back years, making them the first team to do so in 20 years. Thanks for being with us this Sunday, February 11th. I'm Taylor Stewart. It's time to talk about your forecast because it looks a little foggy over in Vegas, but I'm curious to know how it looks in our region. Amy Aronson.
Yeah, a few showers out there, but not bad. We've got showers just south of Baltimore right now. Very, very light stuff. Otherwise, we're all coming in cloudy here. Cloudy and comfortable, not as warm as it was yesterday. We're swapping out the 60s back for the low 50s. And this is where we'll stay through much of the afternoon. Now, we are still tracking that chance for showers over the next couple of hours. It's really light stuff if you have to head out and run some errands ahead of the big game. Rest of the day just looks overcast. Temperatures won't change a whole lot. They'll stay in the low 50s. I am tracking a stronger weather maker for the week ahead. I've got an updated look at the timeline of that system in 10 minutes. Taylor?
Thanks, Amy. A shed and multiple townhomes caught fire early this morning in Elkton Ridge, according to the Maryland State Fire Marshal. This happened around 12:45. Fire officials say it started in a shed behind one of the homes, which ignited the back of a vacant home. Then it spread to adjacent homes, which sustained extensive damage. 10 people were displaced. They're now between two different homes. Fire officials say they're receiving help from friends and the Red Cross. Luckily, there are no reported injuries or deaths in this case. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Baltimore County Police confirm one man was shot last night in Cantonsville. It happened along the 6600 block of Baltimore National Pike near that Wendy's. County Police confirmed the victim was transported to a hospital, but there's no word on his condition this morning. The investigation continues. 4 people were also detained by Baltimore County Police last night after a report of an unarmed robbery in Towson. County Police received a report of an unarmed robber around 8:30 last night near the Towson Mall. They got there, investigated the area, and stopped several persons of interest at a nearby intersection. FOX45 News was on the scene, and video shows police inspecting a white Lincoln and then handcuffing multiple people. County police say the investigation in its initial stages and the information about this incident is limited. Download your Fox 45 News app for breaking news and updates anytime. All you have to do is search WBFF in your app store. This morning, Baltimore City Police have released shocking video of what appears to be a group of teenagers in West Baltimore assaulting and robbing a man before running away. The alarming crime comes as talks of change to the juvenile justice laws are heating up in Annapolis this week.
I think there need to be some big changes just across the board, not just DJS, but just everything.
This week, lawmakers and prosecutors went back and forth over changes to hold juveniles more accountable. Now, while some say crimes like this one prove there is no time to waste, others say the proposed legislation could do more harm than good. Vincent Hill has the story.
I know this bill is going to disappoint both sides of the debate.
As lawmakers debate over changes to the state's juvenile crime laws,
The man is down, was assaulted by 4 people.
the disappointment of juvenile crime being felt on the streets of Baltimore.
21-year-old male assaulted, consciously breathing.
Baltimore police releasing this video of who they describe as teens assaulting and robbing a man in West Baltimore, about 2 blocks away.
And a group of teenage boys jumped out and attacked them.
A 77-year-old man beaten during an attempted carjacking, the youngest suspect.
A face of a 12-year-old. To the political leaders, they are charged with the protection of the citizens.
Back in Annapolis, those political leaders at a crossroad.
This bill is about placing the failings of adults on very young children and children accused of committing minor offenses.
Under the new legislation, children under 13 would be charged with auto thefts. Currently, children under 13 can only be charged if the theft resulted from a violent carjacking.
It may not fall under the heading of crime of violence It is a problem, for sure.
But not everyone agrees.
We made a clear effort to eliminate the youngest children from being exposed to the juvenile justice system. And now you have gone ahead and brought them back into the system.
But for this Butcher's Hill woman, that line of thinking makes her feel
that I don't matter, that what happened doesn't matter.
Her assault captured on video, the perpetrators, 14 and 12 years old. The 14-year-old now facing charges. But since the juveniles took her keys during the assault, it wasn't considered a carjacking.
I was like the 12th or 13th person he's done this to.
Under current law, the 12-year-old free to do it all over again. Opponent to the proposed changes, looking to the numbers and not the victims.
We are proposing a bill that is not based on any data, that is not based on any facts, that is not based upon any evidence.
The changes would also charge juveniles under 13 with firearm offenses. And according to several states' attorneys, the evidence is in the numbers.
Our gun crimes year over year are up 220%. My auto thefts are over 200% up year over year. My carjackings are up 85%.
Last year, we were referred over 1,000 juvenile cases, primarily cases that are felonies that involve very serious offenses.
Meanwhile, as lawmakers go back and forth about what's right for juveniles, victims are left to deal with the lingering effect of juvenile crime.
The hardest part wasn't being robbed. It was, the assault and almost losing my car and, getting punched and just the fear and all of that. And
Let's take a closer look at the legislation currently on the table. Democrats unveiled their plan last week with a main focus on the need for stronger consequences for young offenders. It would increase probation and require police to provide written documentation of youth taken into custody. It outlines changes for the Department of Juvenile Services, including a shorter deadline for intake decisions and hiring more staff in the ankle monitoring unit. The bill would also change a portion of the current juvenile crime code, stating children under 13 cannot be charged with certain crimes. On Friday, a number of state attorneys testified in favor of the bill.
Clearly, there are some issues that our young people are facing. We want to ensure that there is a system that has transparency, accountability, and real services that the kids are getting and that they are required to get. And so this bill, I think, establishes a framework for not only holding young people accountable, but also for holding those of us who are responsible to provide the services for these young people accountable as well.
One of the articles that I did pull is the 12-year-old who walks into an Anne Arundel County school with a loaded gun. And all of a sudden, we look at the law and we're like, oh, we can't do anything. What, you mean you walk into a school with a gun and you can't do anything? And remember, we're not talking about charging him as an adult. We're not even talking about necessarily putting him in detention. We're talking about getting that person the help that they need, that their family needs, so that 4 years from now, when they're 16, 17, or 18, I'm not sitting in a room with a family because they lost a loved one who died as a result of that person not getting the help they needed.
Fox 45 News has done extensive coverage on Maryland's juvenile crime laws, and we've got a complete list of stories on our website, foxbaltimore.com. A college student potentially facing legal trouble from Taylor Swift's team. Why his social media hobby is sparking a showdown with the pop star.
And we've got some rain pushing through our region today, but come tomorrow, winter storm watch posted for areas north of here in central Pennsylvania. I'll explain what that weather maker means for us in just a couple of minutes. It's 10:38. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News.
The road to the big game is sponsored by Royal Farms.
Taylor Swift making her final touchdown in Los Angeles ahead of the big game. And she just completed her shows in Tokyo, jetted there to obviously LA. And now fans are speculating as to why Taylor didn't arrive directly in Vegas, of course. Still, many say it's due to heavy jet traffic in the air. From jetting from concerts to football games, analysts and hobbyists are looking into Swift's jet usage. Her and other celebrities' jets have been posted online, but the person doing it is now facing potential legal action from Taylor Swift's team. We're talking about a college student here. Jack Sweeney is a junior at the University of Central Florida and has run social media accounts for years, logging the takeoff and landing of hundreds of public figures. The accounts use public information from the Federal Aviation Administration and hobbyists who track aircrafts from signals. Swift's attorneys wrote Sweeney a cease and desist letter in December. The pop star has dealt with stalkers and harassment over the years, but Sweeney maintains the information is publicly available and serves as a way to measure public figures' carbon footprint. A mother's love knows no limits. After the break, we're going to introduce you to Hank and the Shockney family and hear their story about resilience, hope, and organ transplants. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning. Well, you know, Valentine's Day is on February 14th, but did you know that's also National Donor Day? Organ donations save lives, and our next guests have experienced that miracle firsthand. Joining us this morning to tell us more about organ donations. Oh, we're losing one of our guys here.
Hey.
We've got Jessica, we've got Steve, and we've got Hank. This is the Shockney family. Come here, Hank. Can I bring you in? Come on.
Come
We're going to bring in Hank. Oh, thank you guys for being with us this morning.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So let's start off here. Jessica, I would like to hear your journey. I know Hank has a liver transplant. Where did that come from? Kidney, rather. And how did that happen? How did that happen?
So when I was pregnant with Hank, we found out that he had a condition called luto, which is a lower urinary tract obstruction. And this obstruction damaged both of his kidneys and also caused him to have underdeveloped lungs. So he was born here at Johns Hopkins Children's Center, went straight to the NICU on a ventilator, and at just 3 weeks old had to start dialysis.
As a mom, how did that touch you?
It was terrifying, and we were unprepared. I mean, we knew he was going to have some sort of kidney impairment, but we didn't know the extent of it. And then once he started dialysis, that's when we knew he was going to need a transplant.
Stephen, when Jessica said, I want to be the person to provide this transplant, what went through your mind?
Well, I mean, we were happy. I mean, that was our hope all along, that one of us would qualify and be a match for him. So when she ended up being the first person that got tested, and she was a good match, it was a great
felt
day.
Lucky.
Yeah.
We felt very lucky and relieved that we were able to do this for him. He didn't have to go on a waiting list.
And that is the thing. I mean, as you watch the recovery process and saw your son beginning his life in a way that is sustainable, and knowing he's got a piece of you in more than just, you know, obviously mom and dad, but when you see him now, he's alive, he's walking, he's joyous. He was smiling a second ago, right, Hank? But tell us, what goes through your mind as a parent when you're going through this? I'm sure there's someone out here who's watching and saying, I've considered maybe donating my organs, I don't know.
You really can give the gift of life. I mean, there's no way around that. So for people, I know not everybody can be a living donor, but to consider being at least a deceased donor, and you know, you can go to infinitelegacy.org or the Motor Vehicle Administration to sign up, because you really get, being on the recipient end and seeing how much it changes his life and the family, any caregivers for the person, you really do give the gift of life, and everything changes drastically. I mean, he was on dialysis for 2 years, which sustained him, but he wasn't living his best life. There were a lot of, you know, complications with that lifestyle, whereas kidney donation is more, it's not lifelong, but it's the best treatment possible.
I have to ask, where can people donate? Where can people get more information if they're curious about what they can do to potentially save someone else's life?
Yes, you can go to infinitelegacy.org to look at more information on becoming an organ donor or a deceased organ donor. And like I said, you can register on there or at your local motor vehicle office.
We'll make sure we have all of this on our website. Yeah. Shockney family, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hank, it's over now. It's over. All right, well, let's go ahead. I mean, this is a gorgeous view here. We got to check out what's happening outside. Meteorologist Amy Aronson, what is happening outdoors
What a cute
right now?
little fella.
I know.
Well, we are looking down at Baltimore. It looks a little cloudy right now, a little bit of light rain falling, but not a bad start to your Sunday. We're at 51 degrees. Little bit of rain will move through about midday. Heavier rain coming Monday night, and that's going to all end as rain now, so we're not really tracking any snow, at least in the short term. We've got this weather maker, this front to our south, disturbances riding along it. The one coming through right now is pretty weak. Actually, that first batch of showers already scooting its way out. Behind it, just overcast for the remainder of the day with temperatures in the low 50s. So we will actually just see a couple more showers through about 1, 2 o'clock. After that, we're cloudy with temperatures in the upper 40s, low 50s through the afternoon. Monday morning starts off dry, so heading to work and school, no issues here. Smooth sailing through your Monday morning. And then here comes round 2. Another round of spotty showers shows up around midday. The heavier stuff holds off until after your drive home Monday evening. Around 8, 9 o'clock, that steadier rain comes in. We get some heavy rain at times, actually, overnight through early Tuesday morning. But you're noticing no blue. That means that chance for snow no longer the case. I think that chance shifts well to our north here up in central parts of Pennsylvania. And for us, it's just a chilly rain event with temperatures staying above freezing. That chance for rain scoots out of here by Tuesday afternoon. So here's a look at how much rain we're expecting. It's not a ton today. We've pretty much picked up all the rain we're going to get. But then if we take a look at what we're expecting Monday night through Tuesday, you'll see much more. So it looks like most locations end up with about an inch of rain by midday on Tuesday from that next weather maker. For today, if you're running errands over the next couple of hours, grab a rain jacket. We've got a little bit of light rain pushing through. Otherwise cloudy with temperatures in the low 50s for the rest of the afternoon, leading up to that big game tonight. If you have plans to head to a party somewhere, dry conditions tonight. Just cloudy with temperatures settling back into the upper and mid 40s. Now we are tracking wet weather late Monday into early Tuesday morning. After that, things are actually going to dry out nicely for Valentine's Day plans on Wednesday. Breezy behind that weather maker and also cooler. We're back in the mid 40s on Wednesday. Here's a look at all of our precipitation chances coming up. We've got some scattered showers today through about 1 o'clock. After that, heavier rain overnight Monday into early Tuesday. Dry for Valentine's Day, dry for the rest of the week. And then we've got to watch next Saturday for a potential for a rain-snow mix. Taylor?
Rain-snow mix, oh my. Okay, well, we are just hours away from the Super Bowl. 58, and it's happening in Vegas. And we're also taking a look at how this could play out. Kansas City Chiefs take on the San Francisco 49ers in Sin City later this afternoon, but there's a lot on the line for both teams this evening, but especially for the quarterbacks. Earlier this morning, we spoke with sports agent Doug Eldridge about what a Super Bowl win means for Brock Purdy and Patrick Mahomes.
Kelsey and Swift may have the Hollywood romance, but Brock Purdy is crafting the Hollywood story. This is a former Mr. Irrelevant, meaning the last player taken in the draft. Now he's the starting quarterback for the favorite heading into the biggest game in all of sports anywhere in the world. You could not write this tale better. In terms of the head-to-head matchup, this is the proverbial David and Goliath. David obviously being Brock Purdy and Goliath being King Mahomes. I mean, they have an armada, an arsenal of weapons around him. He's been to the mountain before. This is going to be a heck of a matchup.
Well, we're taking a live look over Allegiant Stadium, where security is top of mind when it comes to the Super Bowl. Now, we're not just talking about on the ground, but in the skies as well. Christina Lopez with our affiliate in Fresno shares how their 144th Fighter Wing is set to add another layer of protection for such a large-scale event.
All eyes will be on Allegiant Stadium in Sin City this Sunday, including Eyes in the Sky. The 144th Fighter Wing in Fresno is one of several units nationwide tasked with protecting the skies during Super Bowl 58.
That's a unique opportunity, especially being this close to that event.
But it's not just Fresno taking part in this large-scale special mission. There are many players, not just on the field, but in the skies, working to make sure the Super Bowl remains safe for all.
This is an entire interagency process. The Air Force, the DoD, and NORAD are keeping the skies safe, but then the FAA is working with the Secret Service. The FAA will set up a 30 nautical mile flight restriction, a TFR, over the top of Allegiant Stadium during the game.
That mission, also known as an Aerospace Control Alert Mission, will do so on behalf of NORAD to keep the country's skies safe. Although the specifics of the flight mission remain tight-lipped, one detail that isn't confidential, the skies will be heavily safeguarded over the big game.
That will be protected by aircraft that are airborne and ready to escort out anybody that shouldn't be in there.
With a strong air defense, the 144th Fighter Wing says it's prepared for any scenario where security could be breached.
You never know. It does happen.
Aside from an opportunity to provide defense against any aerial threats, Colonel Clark says it's a chance for the Fighter Wing to show crowds just what they can do.
This is a neat opportunity for everybody involved. We've had a chance to display some of our capabilities.
144th Fighter Wing says it is proud to protect the airspace for the United States.
While football fans are divided on which team they want to see win, it turns out the animals are not at the Cincinnati Zoo. Take a look at this. The zoo shared this video of Fiona and the famous big sister picking the 49ers. But actually, look at this. Her little brother, Fritz, he thought the Chiefs would win it once again and bring home that Lombardi trophy. Even the crustaceans are getting in on the action here. Yes, the crabs. This is at the Sea Life Aquarium in New Jersey, and this crab predicts that Kansas City will win it all. His handlers say this animal has a 67% success rate predicting winners of the Super Bowl. Its caretakers say its name will depend on who wins tonight. If the Chiefs win it, the crab will be called Patrick. If the 49ers take it home, he'll be named Brock. Whether you are in Las Vegas with tickets to the game or watching from the comfort of your home, we want to see what you're doing for Super Bowl 58. Share your pictures and your videos with us. All you have to do is scan that QR code. It'll take you to foxbaltimore.com, where you can upload your pictures and videos. It is all powered by Stackla. Stick with Fox 45 Morning News after the break. Meteorologist Amy Aronson has her exclusive 7-day forecast as we get you into your work week.
10:56 on this Sunday morning. Some scattered showers scooting through now. Not really a huge deal. I think they should wrap up by 1, 2 o'clock. We've got another round of rain coming now late Monday into Tuesday. Looks like it should be all rain, though. The snow threat pushing to our north. And then dry for Valentine's Day plans. Dry Thursday and Friday, too. We will have to keep an eye out next Saturday. We've got another weather maker coming in, and there is a chance for a rain-snow mix with that.
Okay.
'Tis the season.
'Tis the season, and 'tis the season for love as well.
True. It's going to be dry on Valentine's Day.
Nice to know. All right. Well, thanks for joining us this Sunday. We hope you have a great day. Make it meaningful, make it count, and enjoy the Super Bowl.